Yo. Alright, first of all, the last video went absolutely dummy. Everybody's been saying good compliments to me, making me happy. Oliver, your last video was so good. Oliver, I loved your last video. Oliver, I watched your last video. The last video blew up. So, on that premise, because I'm thinking, what made the last video good? And if you haven't seen the last video, go back and watch it. It's basically about discipline. The whole video is like, if you don't get discipline and grind, somebody else will, and you're doomed. So, like, here's some, like, just building off of that, right? So this video I'm going to make off of one topic, because in the past I made videos off of like a specific niche, like what I would tell myself in high school, or how to deal with other people or something like that. But we're just going to go big words. And so today the big word, self-esteem / self-image. The difference is a little vague. It's kind of like a psychology definition, but we're not going to go into that. We're just going to get right into the point, because the video is so long that I have notes on my computer. Well, not long, but just like dense, because it's like a big topic. Like, how do I have self-esteem? How do I view myself as best as I possibly can? Let's get started. Also, I got the coffee right here. Just drink coffee all day. I told y'all like 5 times in these videos. Superfood. All right. I read this book. I don't have it on me so I can pull it out, but it's called 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Brand. And it's like the #1 self-esteem book in the field of psychology. I don't know if that's a fact, but I think it is. And basically the premise of the book is there's 6 different, pillars. So there's self-image, I know, is one, self-responsibility, yada, 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 yada. But it all kind of comes down to this view that there's a little, imagine a little conscious in your brain. And whenever you do things, your little conscious remembers that. And it's like, oh, this is who I am. So, and whenever you don't do things, too, that little conscious remembers that. And that little conscious is your self-image, your self-esteem. So let me give you an example. Whenever you're on an elevator and you talk to the strangers, and you're like, what's up, man? How you doing? Your little self-esteem remembers that. And it's like, oh, in an elevator, I talk. I speak in elevators, Let's say you're in a sauna and there's a bunch of people over there and everyone's silent, except they're all kids your age, right? You can talk to them, but you don't. You're too scared. You're like, I'm scared. Like, it's awkward. Your little self-esteem is going to remember that and be like, we don't talk to people. Like, we're shy, right? Everything. When you, I don't know, why women do this. Whenever there's your enemy or whatever that you don't like, and you go check on their social media, like, what are they doing? What are they up to? Your self-esteem remembers that, and it's like, look at you, like you're really interested in what people you don't like are doing. Like, the little conscious is always remembering the decisions that you make. So little things like that in every event, and let that motivate you too. Whenever you're in an elevator and you're a little scared to talk about it, remember that little conscious in your mind is going to remember you not talking about it, and it's going to see you as less of a man. So you have to go and you have to fight that fear, and I talked about that in the last video. But you have to let that self-esteem send it messages, and send it the message of, I'm gonna talk, I'm gonna speak up, I'm a confident person. So that brings us up into the next one, which is that self-esteem remembers what you believe yourself to be capable of doing and what you believe yourself to be not capable of not doing. So speaking in an elevator is an example, right? It'll believe you to be capable of speaking in an elevator, or it'll believe you to be too scared to speak in an elevator. I know I keep using the elevator speaking example, but it's just an easy one to understand. But there's like other things, right? When you see someone cool or whatever at a party and you go up to them, your self-esteem remembers. And if you're too scared, you're like, oh no, I don't want to see a stranger. Your self-esteem remembers. And it's it sets how you view yourself. And that's so important to understand. Like, when I understood that, it motivated me to step outside my comfort zone a whole lot more. So let's talk about that. What you're capable of doing, what you're not capable of doing. Most people don't set goals, and this is a quote from I think Jordan Peterson. Most people don't set goals because they don't like to set conditions up for failure. Most people don't set goals because they don't like to set up conditions for failure. Most people are going through life with no goals, because having a goal is like, oh no, what if I miss it? My self-esteem's gonna be scared. But just think about that, how bad your self-esteem is, to where you won't even set one because you're too scared of failing. Like, that's even worse than setting one and failing, if you ask me, to your self-esteem. right? Or to that little conscious in your head that's remembering what you do and don't do. So set goals, and specific goals. Like by the end of the year, I want to have a 3.75 GPA, right? Just set that, because that's immediately going to boost your self-esteem instead of stumbling through life not setting goals, and you're like, I don't need goals, I just go through life, I work hard, and I work hard, yeah. No, bruh, set some goals, okay? Because what effect is not having any goals? Because the not having any goals, part of you is saying, I woke up with this bump on my face, I don't know what it is. Part of you is saying you're not setting goals because you're too scared to fail, and that's horrible for your self-esteem. So what's a good way to view things to be most beneficial to your self-esteem? What's a good precedent or a good frame to see the world to where your self-esteem will be you'll be more inclined to go out there and chase things? And it comes down to this: if I want something, I will get it, and I always will get what I want. That sounds very cocky and sounds very spoiled and sounds very arrogant, or at least society will tell you that, because society is like, no, shh, pipe down, buddy, pipe down. Everybody just be NPC. Don't think about that. Don't think about how you can get whatever you want in the world, and how when you set a goal you're gonna get it, and how you always reach your goals. Don't think like that, man. Come on, just chill. Here, go out to clubs and go party and twerk and go listen to Cardi B and Lil Nas. No. We're gonna think like that, because when you think like that, that's very confident of a worldview. I'm setting my goals, and I always get there. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get there. But that worldview isn't just some little dream. It can't be some little dream. The decisions that you make and everything that you do must align with it. Thinking it and affirming it is one thing, but going out there and doing it every single day is another thing. And that requires a lot to view the world in this way of, I'll repeat it, when I want something, I get it, and I always get what I want. To view the world like that requires an awful lot of work. But you'll see yourself as a winner ultimately, and you'll see yourself as someone who does whatever it takes to get whatever they want. And that means that when you meet someone and, in the party, right? Let's go back to that party example. You meet someone cool at a party, you go over there and you're like, should I go meet them and get their name and contacts? And then there's that party that's like, no, I'm too scared. But then there's that precedent of, I always get what I want, and I want to meet this guy. So I'm going to go against that resistance, and I'm going to go up there and I'm going to meet him. So what does this imply? Most people don't even know what they want. So you're already, self-esteem is already higher than most people, because most people don't know what they want because they don't set goals. Well, they don't set goals, but even deeper than that, they don't know what they want. And that's a real one. Do you know what you want from life? Do you know what specifies success? Do you know what you want in a friend? Seriously, give me 10 things you want in a friend. Let me try. Friendly. You know what I mean? Give me 10 things you want in a wife. Give me 10 things you want out of your education. Most people don't specify what they even want from life. So that I'll say it again. I get what I want. I always get, I always get what I want, basically. It's like the view. But most people don't even know what they want in all these aspects of life that are important, right? What do I want from the grocery store? Something you know. But what do I want in a friend? What do I want in a teacher? What do I want a perfect day for myself to look like? So seriously, if you have time, if you do little activities that I talk about sometime in the video, like that one where I said write out goals, and old video, but write out what you want in a friend, write out what you want in a wife, write out what you want in a perfect day, write out what you want physically in your body and in your mind and in your mental health and everything, and then orient your life to achieve it. And it's not easy. It's not an easy task, but we're talking about optimal self-esteem worldview is that I know what I want. Most people, keep in mind, don't even set goals, don't even know what they want, right? Boom, killing it, buddy, right? And I always get what I want because I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna get that, right? If I want a wife who's, beautiful, the 10 things, right? I'm gonna get one, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get one. Whether that be I gotta, go to public speaking classes because I'm scared to talk to girls, or something like that. Just you gotta figure out how to do it, because there's no way you're failing because you said I always get what I want. That's the worldview. right? Here's another thing I want to touch on real quick. Delicious. Don't be afraid to talk to yourself. Because what is your self-esteem thinking when you're afraid to talk to yourself? It's not happy, I promise. That little consciousness when you're afraid to talk to yourself and you're always avoiding time with your own thoughts, which is real, which is a real thing. And I've met people all the time who say like, oh, like I can't stand like, sitting in silence with my thoughts. Like they say that. Like I think it's cool or something. Like, it's not cool, buddy. It's not a good thing. But don't be afraid to talk to yourself, because that self-esteem, little voice in your head, the little consciousness that's watching what you're doing, watching when you are too afraid to speak up, watching when you go look at someone's Instagram you don't like, watching when you see the cool kids walk by and you're like, ooh. It remembers all of that, and it's also remembering when you put on some music in the shower or something because you can't sit there with your own thoughts in the shower. I'm telling you, most people at this age in this generation cannot sit with their own thoughts. Like I'm literally like so serious that when I was in the sauna, bro, I saw someone with headphones on their phone in the sauna. Like, bruh, like you can't sit there and just take some deep breaths, bro, for like 10 minutes. Like headphones, not even like the AirPods. Like I got these because I got a speaker, I mean a microphone, but headphones on their phone in the sauna. And all I'm thinking is like, you can't like sit there and just like breathe for 10 minutes. And the reality is that's most people. Like a lot of people can't sit in there and breathe for 10 minutes. I'm telling you, the competition pool for these things, even for self-esteem, is really like it's not a lot. Most people these days are NPCs. They can't talk to anyone. I was in the sauna the other day. I tried talking to people. It felt like I was a teacher trying to do icebreakers with my new class. That's how it felt. I was like, so, what's your major? Everybody go around and say your major. Biology, psychology, sociology. Okay. What do you guys want from life? I was like, bruh, like I can't, the conversation wasn't flowing. And if you know me, you know I can have a conversation with anyone. But there was like 3-4 people in that sauna I was trying to talk to. I couldn't talk to nobody. Because I don't know, maybe they're just uncomfortable talking in the sauna. Everybody had clothes on, so I don't know why. I digress. But people spend every moment with music or TV or just nonsense thinking like, I don't know. What did that girl do the other day? And like just nonsense thinking. Not consciously thinking, I mean. Like not consciously like thinking. Just like, you know what I mean. Like when you're doing the dishes or whatever and just like random thoughts are coming to your head and you're not actually like, like contemplating them. All right? Spend some time to think. Spend some time to think and spend some time to be alone with yourself. What does that mean? That means, I don't know, let's do 30 minutes before you go to bed, no stimulation. No music, TV, no music or TV or movies or anything like that. Just silence with yourself. 30 minutes after you wake up, do the same thing. All right? That's my challenge to you. All right? Next one. This is like an easy challenge if that seems too hard or if you can't do it right now. Showers, brushing your teeth, using the bathroom. No phone. No music, no movies, no TV. Silence. Alone with your thoughts. No phone. I know this seems hard, but you can do it. No phone, no music, no movies, no TV. Get used to being alone with yourself. Your self-esteem is paying attention to where you can't shower by yourself, and it's setting a view of who you are. And then you wonder why you see yourself in a negative light, or why you can't spend time with yourself, or why you have low self-esteem. It's because that little conscious is always listening. I'm dropping gems in this video. Alright. People in today's society often feel as if there's something missing. There's some kind of void. There's some kind of, I don't know, something's missing from my life. Alright? And I can't sit here and tell you that I have the answer and I know what's missing from their life, because I don't. Alright? And you meet people that are millionaires and they feel like something's missing. You meet broke people that feel like something's missing. Maybe it's money, maybe it's not. Maybe they never wanted money, maybe they want a family, right? It's different for everybody. Alright? I can't tell you what's missing. But I can tell you that your self-esteem notices when you see the world in this way of something's, you have a void. And I'm not saying, that that's easy to fix. I'm not saying that, if you feel like there's a void or something missing, you better fix it, bro, because your self-esteem's not happy about that, bro. Like, fill the void, bro. Figure out what's missing. I can't sit here and say that. But I can say that consumer culture thrives on that fact that you feel like something's missing, and so your self-esteem is watching that, and so your self-esteem is setting you as this lower person. And so consumer culture thrives off of that feeling of emptiness or something missing, and tries to tell you like, hey, look, if you fill this void with this, your self-esteem will go up. I think I said that well. It's kind of hard to say, but I think I said that well. They want you to focus on that, right? They want you to focus on what's missing, because they know that if they can manipulate that, they can sell you new things and make you feel like you need this, you need that, you need this, you don't have enough, yada, yada, yada. But that's the wrong worldview, or the wrong self-esteem worldview. The right one is to focus on what you have, okay? And this is just like obvious, right? Because there's people in Africa right now who would literally, give away their child to live your life for a year, right? There's people who are like, it's serious. Like, there's people who would give up everything they have to live your life for a year, or to live your life for a day even. Like, people would give up everything they have. There's people out there with, I think it's something like, I don't know, 1/5 of the world or 1/4 of the world doesn't have toilets. You know what I mean? Like, they want you focusing on this void and what's missing. But a person with good self-esteem focuses on what they have. And a person with good self-esteem, I'll go back, knows that they can get what they want and knows what they want and sets goals. And also understands that little conscious voice is listening whenever you're too scared to go up to someone, whenever you're too scared to speak up in an elevator, whenever you want to do something but you're too scared. And it also listens when you aren't too scared to do something and you do it. Little quick summary, but going back, I'm about to finish up this video because it's going long. I knew it would go long. Focus on what you have, because gratitude reciprocates. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but people who are grateful and smiling and just like always having a good time and like just light up a room, right? Good things tend to happen to those people. I don't know. I don't think I've ever met one of those people, who just like smiling, hey, how are you? And like, I don't know, something terrible happens to them, like their parents get killed, or I don't know. Well, have I met anyone whose parents get killed? No. You see what I'm saying, though? Gratitude reciprocates. Let's leave it at that. And it's all over the Bible. All right? God will provide. God will provide. Be grateful to God for today. With all things you do, rejoice and thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Why would that be all over the Bible if God did not know that eventually the world will be in this place where people are focused on, where people have a void, and then culture and yada, yada, yada is trying to attack that void and be like, hey, look, fix this. Why would God put that in there to tell you be grateful and know that God will provide? It's facts. It's facts. All right, guys, that's pretty much everything I know about self-esteem. Some of it was stolen, but a lot of it was original. Jordan Peterson quote and that 6 pillars part were stolen, but everything else was original. You know how I do it. You know how I chop it up. Sorry, it's a bit of a longer video. I know you people don't have any attention span because you're scrolling on Instagram and TikTok and you can't even watch one whole TikTok. Or you put on a movie and then you're on your phone during the movie as if the movie's not stimulating enough. And then you're going through TikTok and you can't even finish a TikTok while the movie's playing. That's the average dude. Well, I don't know about that's the average dude, but that's a lot more people than you would expect. All right. Konnichiwa. Love you.